What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin XCN USD yet again. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the third day of July, and here we are with about 10 hours, 20 minutes left in the day, sitting here just below $0.004. I am expecting, and we have been expecting for about a month now, some type of move that would take us back to prices above 0.005, potentially above 0.006. And of course, it is possible. We have the potential to possibly go above this high here. That would be the real cherry on the stick, the real sprinkle on top of the ice cream sundae. It would be nice to see, because if we can do that, again, we shift our dynamic from a lower high, lower low dynamic to something that now has a higher high. I'm not going to lie, I'm getting deja vu right now. And we do pump. We do actually get above this high. So that's going to happen. See, with my deja vus, with a lot of people, when they go through deja vu, it's like something from the past, and it reminds them of right now, and it's almost like they've lived that moment before. For me, it's an exact vision, an exact predated forecast. I've seen it. It's happening. We're going to go above this high. The deja vu says so. Anyways, I shouldn't even call it a deja vu with that. My visions, my futuristic perspective visions, prospective. Anyways, here we are at 0.004. You think I'm kidding? Just wait and see. 0.004. A lot of people have mixed feelings about this announcement that happened on the 1st of July. I don't want to say, I don't know what to say. Some people, some minds believe that the mesh is not a big deal. They're like, what the hell? This is kind of lame. And then others, like myself, and maybe more seasoned minds, are aware that this is, it's basically exactly what we expected it to be. It was something that wasn't awe-inspiring. It wasn't oh, they've partnered with Visa, they've partnered with U.S. Bank, they've partnered with the Bank of Japan, whatever. It's nothing like that. New development, new integrations, new whatever. It is a new development, actually, as far as that goes, but it's something more technical. It's something that's harder for the average person, I think, to wrap their mind around. Just understand that it is, and the reason I'm clearing my throat is there's just so much smoke, man. The West is on fire here, and I don't know if I'm an asthmatic. I don't know. Asthma medication helps me. I don't take asthma medication though, because but anyways, I don't smoke. Only when I smoke do I need to take asthma medication. But I've been sober since February, so I'm enjoying that and enjoying the no asthma medication. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. All I'm trying to say is it's a mixed bag. Some people are not excited about the upgrade. Some people are. The only reason why people aren't excited about the upgrade is they're not looking at it and saying, "Oh my God, this is a terrible thing." They're looking at it and saying, "This isn't what I expected. I was expecting a new car. I was expecting some kind of business thing that was happening. They're going to be in the next Super Bowl. I don't know. XCN is going to have advertisements placed on the Sphere in Las Vegas. What something that's more grabby, something that's more basic that might cause a short-term little pump. XCN partners with Visa, but that kind of stuff, guys, it's always short-term. The mesh, Onyx Mesh, and the rebranding from Goliath to Onyx, I think those are really good fundamentally for the long term. I really do. We're forming a base, and the people who are paying attention are accumulating at this base. This is a really good base, and again, I have foreseen a pump that takes us above this high, and then we still dump down. No, I'm just kidding. And then we probably do correct a little bit from there, and then we'll rally up higher. But if my vision is misleading us, if I'm wrong, then perhaps we do, just go to 0.005, 0.006 something. But man, that deja vu was powerful. That recollective moment for me was very powerful. From a high here, imagine this is the low, and I am going to imagine this is low. I think this is a fake out. Maybe we could draw this in. It's far away enough. Maybe we should draw this in. Let's look and see just how they line up with prior price actions. Like this here, there's a little bit of respect. There's more respect on these fibs. Now, it's not necessarily a good way to go about it, but that's how I like to do it sometimes. Don't look to see if you have a fib. Like, don't do this. Don't bring your golden ratio down to a level here and be like, oh, that's where the low is going to be. Don't do that. Because sure, it lines up. It kind of looks nice. Maybe that is where the low is going to be. I hope it is. Because if it is, guys, oh my goodness, we're going to have such a tremendous opportunity to buy this thing. And again, over the long term, that would just look like a giant kind of double bottom. Like, that would be incredible. But it would be more incredible if we save the grief and we just pump through the roof from here, right? We've been dumping since January of 2025, right? Well, not dumping since then, but we've had moments of pumping excitement, moments of stagnation, but since that time we have seen lower highs and lower lows. Really though, since November of 2025, we've been moving sideways. Still getting lower highs, still getting lower lows, but it's a little bit more sideways, it's a little bit less this and this. It's a little bit more this, right? Anyways, from the high to the low, the way that I like to look at things is typically I don't count the 236 as a point of resistance. It can be, and it is oftentimes enough, but more often than that, we go to the 382. I mean, we look at this here, from this high to this low, you went up to your golden ratio. From this high to this low, you went just above your 382. And then here, you didn't have a lower low, so this would have been the fib to base it off of. You actually found resistance at your 236 afterwards. Now we have a new low. This is actually a good low to base it off of. The 382 here does take us above that high. It does. You guys, we pump from here all the way up to zero. We pump up to 1 cent. Because with the 382, typically you actually do wick above it. That changes things. Just imagine, we're playing a game of imagine here, peekaboo with our minds. We're trying to have foresight. Imagine what this would mean. If we're up here, first and foremost, everybody's going to be ecstatic. Everybody's going to be really excited. This Onyx mesh thing starts to look really pretty then, doesn't it? We start to move up. We're up about 2.5x from the current price. People are going to be excited. People will be FOMOing in. We'll be at points of resistance, resistance, resistance. Right, prior support becomes resistance, resistance here, prior support, and it's the 382. Okay, we look at this, so there's all these points of resistance, and it's the 382 of the MAC Daddy fib itself. Look at all that significance, all in that area. People will be excited. It'll probably be a time at which we pull back, and you're at the 1 cent level, psychological resistance, okay? But on top of all that resistance, we've got our first higher high. Whenever you're up here and people are excited, this is going to look like exactly what we've theorized it to be since, I mean, November we really started to think that we would move up higher, and we did. We moved up higher. We just didn't expect that we'd come back down here. As this progressed over the months, going into probably April, we really started to identify this for what it is, an accumulative zone. As we move down, it looks less like an accumulation zone, just a staging area to break down. But when we broke down, there was no volume to back this up. There was no movement coming in behind this movement to push the price lower. We're finding support at prior resistance here, and here. We are finding support at our golden ratio from the low to the high on a macro scale. This is significant dynamics at play here, you guys, right at the golden ratio. We're up here now. This really does look like accumulation. And guys, if we've been accumulating since November, and it's July or August that we're up here, we're going to be talking about prices a lot higher than 1 cent. You just leave it at that. We're going to be talking about prices a lot higher than 1 cent. The next target would be 1.9. Wait, I'm on the wrong fib here. I'm sorry. It'll be lower. Lower. Next target would be 1.8 to 2.2 cents. Which from the current price, more or less, is about a 4.5x to a 5.5x. Fun. Great. And you're staking the whole time? Imagine you've been staking OnyxCoin since November. You really aren't down that much, are you? You've had moments where you're excited, moments where you're excited, moments where you're excited, but you're really not down that much, are you? You've been staking this whole time, and I mean, it's 25, depending on if you're using the regular Ethereum ecosystem, or if you're using the Onyx, now not Goliath, the Onyx ecosystem, the Onyx layer, you're receiving that liquid staking. It's either 25 to 27.8% staking that your APR that you're receiving for the staking. I mean, July, August, September, October, November. We've got 4 months left. You've probably acquired close to like 15 to 20% of an added bump in your total OnyxCoin holdings without even buying more OnyxCoin, right? So back here, you would have had, at these low points, let's assume you bought, like maybe even at the high points here, let's say that, let's say you bought, let's even take it higher so we're being more conservative. You would have had at this golden ratio zone a 3x to a 3.5x, but add that extra 20% in there. It's not like you would do 3x to 3.5x on that 20%, or would you? Maybe you would. Maybe that's how you would do it. It depends on how you're staking it. If you're compounding it, maybe not. It'd be a little bit more, but yeah, you throw an extra 60% on there basically. Throw an extra 70% on there, 70, 80% on there, just from holding, right? That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal stuff, you guys. Let alone if you've been buying and accumulating, as we all should have. I know it's hard. I know it's really hard to buy the lows. It's really easy to buy the highs, but man, this thing, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. This thing's got a lot of potential, you guys. Anyways, I got nothing else. I'm just talking. Weekly MACD starting to build bullish momentum. That's exciting. Stochastics have been oversold as hell for a long time. We're overdue for some type of recovery. The RSI is not giving us really much at all, but that's because we're just choppy and sideways. I would formally like to change my price prediction from 0.05 to 0.06. I'd formally like to change it. My expectation 100% at the moment is that we're going to go around 1 cent. From here, we are pumping to 1 cent. We are absolutely pumping it to 1 cent. And there are multiple reasons for this. There's multiple reasons. It makes sense from a fib perspective here. It makes sense from a fib perspective here, from the low to high. Remember, that 382 lines up there. It makes sense from a price perspective. Prior resistance, prior support becomes resistance, prior support becomes resistance. It all makes sense. But the thing that really opened my eyes to this the most was my intuition. Was that foresight. I don't know what happened, but it's like I just got slapped with it. It happens to me every now and then, and it can sound kooky, whatever. I don't care. Cuckoo, ka-choo. Here we are, 1 cent because of the vision. Absolutely, because of the deja vu. 1 cent is happening. I've seen this before. I don't know where I've seen it. Somewhere in a lost prophecy, maybe. We're going up to 1 cent. That's the price prediction. I'm not saying it as a comical value. I know that I can add the funny words in there and make it sound silly, but I'm so serious about this, you guys. From here, from 0.04, the prediction is that we're going to pump up to 1 cent, and then everything changes. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.